Welcome to Lifesaver Academy and Physician Hub. I'm really glad you tuned in today because we're tackling a situation that literally almost everyone is going to face at some point, and usually it's when you least expect it. Picture this. You're out enjoying a beautiful afternoon. Maybe you're on a hike or having a picnic, and out of nowhere, zap, a sharp, burning pain hits your arm. Yep, you've just been stung by a bee. And right in those immediate seconds, the clock actually starts ticking. Why? Because a bee's detached stinger can literally keep pumping. Experiencing venom in your body for even a few minutes can be more than just an uncomfortable inconvenience. It can turn a regular afternoon into a life-or-death situation. Today, I'm here to guide you through a quick response triage process. By the end of this, you'll have a comprehensive mental checklist ready to act the moment you find yourself in this predicament. Let's jump right in. Picture yourself in that critical moment. Your arm is throbbing, and the clock is ticking. Heart rate is probably ticking up a bit just from the sheer surprise of it, and your friends or family are all staring at you. So, what is your very first move? Now, human instinct usually pushes us to swat frantically, right? Or maybe squeeze the wound, or honestly just start sprinting in the opposite direction. But reacting on pure instinct like that can actually make the whole situation worse. What you need in this exact moment is a structured protocol. You got to know what to look for, what to touch, and maybe most importantly, what to completely ignore. So let's freeze time right here at the exact moment of the sting and figure out our immediate
game plan. Alright, the absolute first step in any medical triage is super simple to say, but incredibly hard to execute. Do not panic. Seriously, take a deep breath. We need to establish the baseline reality here. For the vast majority of us, a bee sting is going to cause localized pain, a red ring around the sting site, and yes, some minor swelling. That is just your body's perfectly normal inflammatory response. It's sending white blood cells to the area to deal with the venom. So is it uncomfortable? Absolutely. But it is totally standard. By reminding yourself that the pain and redness are just the baseline, you stop your brain from going into absolute overdrive. You're taking control, you're calming the patient, whether that happens to be you or someone else. And you're clearing your mind so you can actually assess what needs to happen next. Now, to build out this mental checklist, we are actually going to practice by creating a video scenario with an animated human patient. We're going to treat this animated arm right now and walk through the exact timeline step by step because, let's be real, in a highly stressful moment, you do not want to be trying to recall dense medical textbook jargon. You need a clear physical triage plan for the sting itself and a mental alarm system for the critical warning science. So this animated avatar is going to act as our ultimate cheat sheet today, breaking down both the immediate physical triage and those severe red flags we absolutely have to watch out for. So let's start the immediate physical triage on our animated patient here. There are basically golden rules of sting care. Step 1. Get that stinger out. You want to carefully remove it from the skin. Tweezers work great, or you can even just scrape it away with the edge of a credit card. Remember, getting it out swiftly is the key to stopping that venom pump. Step 2. Wash the area. Once the stinger is gone, just clean the site with some basic soap and water. This is super important to prevent any secondary infections down the line. And finally, step 3. Apply an ice pack. Putting ice wrapped in a cloth, of course, right onto the wound is going to constrict the blood vessels, which significantly cuts down on both the swelling and that awful throbbing pain. Honestly, forget all the confusing old wives' tales out there. Just stick to these clear steps. Remove. Ice. Now, while those 3 steps are going to completely solve the problem for most folks, we really have to pivot our attention to the other end of the spectrum for a second. Here is the absolute crucial point. What is just a minor temporary nuisance for one person can actually be a rapidly cascading, life-threatening emergency for someone else. And that is called anaphylaxis. It's severe allergic reaction where the immune system basically hits the panic button and drastically overreacts to the bee's venom. When this happens, the body releases a massive flood of chemicals that can literally send the person into shock. We're talking a sudden drop in blood pressure and airways narrowing so much that it blocks breathing. It is fast, it is genuinely terrifying, and it requires you to recognize it immediately.
Now, it's really interesting and absolutely critical about this. Next slide is that it highlights the 4 distinct life-threatening symptoms you have to actively monitor for at this point. You aren't just looking at the sting on the arm anymore. You've got to look at the whole patient. First up, difficulty breathing. Are they wheezing or struggling to get air? Second is swelling, but specifically swelling away from the sting site. You want to look right at their lips and tongue. If those are swelling, it's a massive red flag that their airway is closing up. Third, dizziness. Are they feeling faint, acting confused, or maybe they can't even stand up? And a rapid pulse. Their heart is basically working overtime because their blood pressure is plummeting. These 4 symptoms right here are your internal alarm system. If you notice even a hint of one of these signs starting to develop, the situation has completely changed. That if literally any of those 4 symptoms appear, your physical triage completely stops. You drop the tweezers, you drop the ice pack, and you call emergency services immediately. There is absolutely no waiting to see if it gets better, and there's no driving them to the hospital yourself. If an ambulance can get to you faster with epinephrine, anaphylaxis progresses in a matter of minutes. So your one and only job at this point is to get professional, life-saving medical help on the line and do exactly what the dispatcher tells you. Oh, and if the patient happens to have an EpiPen on them, this is the exact moment you help them use it. But the golden rule here is crystal clear.
Systemic symptoms mean immediate emergency intervention. No exceptions. Well, we've really covered the entire spectrum today, haven't we? From the calm, methodical steps of removing a stinger and applying ice all the way to recognizing the critical, super fast-moving signs of anaphylaxis. So I want to leave you with this final thought. If our animated patient suddenly became a real, breathing person sitting right in front of you on a park bench clutching their arm, are you now prepared to save life? Knowledge really is the absolute best first aid kit you can carry. By visualizing these steps and locking these warning signs into your brain today, you have literally just made the world around you a little bit safer. Keep this in your back pocket for the next time you hear that familiar buzzing sound. Stay curious, stay prepared, and keep learning. Thanks for watching.